From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big week on LALATE as more earnings come on in. But what's also coming this week? The analysis that's contradictory. Yes, we learned over the last few days how data rules, analysis does not. As some people say there won't even be a recession. It's Camp 1. Camp 2 saying there will be a recession. It'll be more pronounced. Why? Because of this number. This number that came in last week, the unemployment. Well, the latest on what you need to know across the board today from the shores of Santa Monica. The great news is your benefits are going up a huge amount. How much? We're going to get a first guidance about it this week on August 10th. When the Consumer Price Index, which gauges inflation, is released that day, that is the first 3 months of data we need to see how much your benefits are going up. The astronomical numbers, we're going to look at them and look at what we saw in the month before going into July. Yes, huge great news across the board. If inflation has not peaked, then your benefits are going up a lot. And also, what does that mean for housing? Housing will continue to crumble left and right. We'll have the latest details on that. But, of course, the big news for you is you want to get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. In this corner, we'll go over those huge forced stimulus checks that became law in the month of March. Viewers have gotten them from this channel. And we have a brand new success story today about what has happened for members of this channel and what can happen for you. Go under this video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino, VIP, and get these huge checks. How much? About $100,000. You need it. There's going to be a recession. Most of the analysis that's coming from the bond traders, the oil traders, and myself agree. If you're in Camp 2, get ready to celebrate in the live chat because we're all in the same collective analysis. If you're in Camp 1, you think that there's no recession, it's never going to happen, and everything is wonderful across the board. Ultimately, what you need to do is err on caution. And you err on caution by getting that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. And in this recording, I'm going to show you how to get these incredible checks. And you qualify. Why would you not? Single individual, $75,000 or less, go get it. If you're on benefits, SSI, and SSDI, go get it. Go right on this video, become a member right now. See the second half as we go over these huge checks. We have the latest breaking news today for August 8th, 2022. And the latest debate about recession versus not recession. It's hideously important. You've got to understand where this is and where it's going. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, it's a big day. We're going to go over your economy, your recession, your inflation, benefit rises, your housing market, plus what you need to know about unemployment and what you need to know about your stimulus. It's from the shores of Santa Monica, California, and the breaking news starts right here, right now, as Afternoons LA gets underway. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day for August 8th, 2022. Thank you for the nice comments. I was away because I was hospitalized, but I'm back with you with lots of breaking news. And if you missed the recordings over the weekend, I'll get you caught up across the board today. The biggest day of the week, of course, is August 10th, when that Consumer Price Index number will be released, and it'll give us the guidance on this economy. Plus, of course, we need to see that labor number on Thursday. And also, what happened today is really quite fascinating. Normally, this recording is made earlier in the day, but this is made after the close, so I have guidance on what happened with this market after the close. The day started with many people believing that inflation had peaked and that the good times are here to roll. It did not end that way. It sounds like they were watching this recording. And today we're going to go over all that breaking news from the shores of Santa Monica, California. It's the breaking news, and it starts right now on LALATE. How are you? I hope you're having a beautiful day. It is a little too warm here. It's just a little too warm here. It's like someone's making some bacon and not inviting me. It's just not conducive weather. It's heating up, sort of like inflation. In this recording, we're going to go over a lot of major breaking news, but it starts, of course, with what happened on Friday. If you missed the recordings over the weekend, let me get caught up, because this was a jaw-dropping event, and no one saw it coming. No one saw it coming. I didn't even see it coming. And it is really causing a fissure in the analysts. Half going one way, Camp 1, and half going the other way, Camp 2. What happened? On Thursday, you and I knew that the new jobless claims number was going to come in. We've been covering this number since day one of this channel when it launched in March of 2020. And we knew that the jobless claims was going straight up. It's been going straight up for weeks. It was 140,000 new jobless claims just a month ago. Then it went 60, 200. When it was at 200, I said it was going to go to 230. And then for this last week, I said it was going to go to 260 on Thursday. Did that happen? Yes, it happened exactly on the money because I get the stuff right. And that 260 was exactly what we had projected. We thought at that point we could say the labor market is weakening because look at the surge of these unemployment claims every week. I mean, this is pretty obvious. More unemployed people, the labor market's weaker, right? Pretty simple, isn't it? So no one and myself was looking for Friday's number to be much of any surprises. What is Friday's number? A once a month number. And this is the non-farm payroll. It is basically how many jobs are created in the private sector, like travel and leisure and things like that. We weren't really watching to see this as a major event. I told you it was coming in, but I wasn't really teasing it to get you to watch the channel. No, I didn't think it was going to be an interesting story. It was a hugely important story. It was, in fact, the most important story of the entire summer after that June CPI went through the roof. This was a shocker of a story. And it wasn't the top line number. It was the bottom line number. Let me tell you what's going on. When they release these reports, sometimes there's a top number that's the lead number, and then there's a buried number in there that has another significance. Well, the top line number was a shocker, but it was not the big one. The labor market added a lot of jobs in the month of July. Wall Street is expecting the number of job creations to fall compared to the month of June. They're expecting to fall down to 258. Did Wall Street get it right? Of course not. It's Wall Street. It did not fall to 258. It rose to 528,000 jobs. This is the biggest job of creation in 1 month that we have seen in a long time. But it's not that number that shocked the market. It was the buried number. And it was the unemployment percentage of the U.S. population. The number, folks, dropped dramatically, meaning a lot less people unemployed, to a number so low, it is not a pre-COVID number. It's not a 2020 number. It is not a, pre-Joni and the Chachis. It is not a pre-Love Boat, pre-Fantasy Island. No, it is... Actually, it is pre-Love Boat, pre-Fantasy Island. It's really old, this number. It's not seen in the 1960s. What is that, Brady Bunch? Yeah, it's a Brady Bunch number. The last time we saw a number this low was 1969. I'm trying to figure out the TV show that lines up with 1969. What is that show? I don't know. Jump on the live chat if you remember what show was the top show in America in 1969. We've never seen this lowest number of unemployed people in the U.S. economy since 1969. This is data. This is not analysis. With that, you know what the immediate reaction is. You could do this analysis. In fact, it's almost not even analysis, it's data. The Federal Reserve, Jay Powell and his team, their job is to help you survive. My job is also to get you stimulus. That's coming up in just a second. Make sure you go into this video and become a member. His job is dual-fold. He has a dual mandate. It's under the Constitution. One, to get maximum employment. Well, ding, ding, ding. He's done it. He's gotten the lowest unemployment we've seen since 1969. He has won the lottery. This is a major achievement for the Federal Reserve. They can smile from ear to ear because no one saw this coming. And now all the trash talking I've done of Jay Powell, I got to wash my mouth because he got it right. He got that labor right. What he didn't get right is where I can continue to trash talk is the inflation. He's not got inflation down by raising those interest rate spikes. So you can do the analysis. If the labor is the best that Jay Powell's ever had it, because he was not Fed governor in 1969, obviously, and the inflation is the worst that he's ever had it, what is he going to do? He's going to keep on hitting inflation. That's pretty obvious. That's very obvious. He has to hit the inflation to bring it down because now he has unemployment exactly where he wants it. Sound important? It is important. And this, my friends, is why I have to get a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. That forced stimulus check in every U.S. state is on this channel, stays on this channel, and has always been on this channel. This channel helped get people money when there was no money in the thick of 2020 December. We didn't have a second stimulus package. We were told by Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi there was going to be one. They didn't deliver. I went out and found your money. Then, when third stimulus delivered some money, but not a whole lot, when we were waiting between second stimulus and third stimulus, and all we saw was $600, I went out and found you more money. Well, this money I found for you in spring of March of this year, March of 2022. I coined the expression forced stimulus. So guess what? I'm staying with the language, forced stimulus. It's money in every U.S. state, and there will not be any other forced stimulus except this, if you know what's been going on elsewhere off this channel. That's why you stay the big second half of this recording, because we're going to go over these big checks. Congratulations to the new success stories. I have their success stories coming up in just a second. So what happened then, LA, on Friday? You're leaving me in suspense. Don't you love why I talk in third person? This number that came in Friday, which clearly is data, then caused monstrous confusion of analysis. Before we get to that, let me answer a question that I think it was Diane and Lynn Glenn asked in the live chat. I love this question from them because it shows that viewers are really getting into the depth of the data. You want to know everything about the data, because when you know about the data, you prepare your family, you prepare your bank account, you prepare your business. They asked, where were the jobs created? Why was this number so high? Why was there so many jobs created? Great question. And if you've been watching this channel, you probably know the answer. Let me pull up the graphic. Over the last 2 weeks, we talked about businesses that missed dramatically in their quarter earnings for the second quarter. Earnings recession. What were those companies that missed dramatically? They were tech and social media, especially. We had earnings misses with Twitter and Snap and Alphabet and Microsoft and Chipotle. Massive misses, but we did not have misses on biotech, hospitality, travel, and leisure, like a Royal Caribbean, like a Hilton. If we're watching the show live, you see at least Royal Caribbean in the ticker underneath this channel. And they beat. So guess which companies created the most jobs? Travel and leisure, with a gain of 100,000 jobs in 1 month. That's incredible. And we also had hospitality, healthcare adding 170,000 across the board. Retail was really bad, just like you expected, because retail did not deliver on those numbers. So the question then is, what is the Federal Reserve going to do in September? And this brings us back to later this week, August 10th. On August 10th, this Consumer Price Index number is released for the month of July. It is the most important number of the week that gives an indication of where inflation is for the month of July. What is the importance of it for you? Because your benefits are going to go up enormously. What is the lead up to this number? And let me tell you where I think this number is going. The lead up to this number is that inflation has not peaked in this economy. There's been no single data that has shown us it's peaked. And the last data we had was not a CPI number, which is once a month. It's the number in between. The consumer price, consumer price adjusted number, which was released 2 Fridays ago. There was the highest number, the PCE, the highest number in nearly 2 weeks. 20 years. What am I saying? 2 weeks, 20 years. It was out of control. And so what we're looking to see for this August 10th is whether your benefits are going up more than we initially thought or just on the money. Let's bring it back to what's at issue. Has inflation peaked? Well, let's understand how this works. Back on July 13th, we had that CPI come in and beat. The next day, the producer price index beat. And the day after that, the retail sales beat. That was in the month of July for the month of June. So we're going to repeat these 3 items, CPI, PPI, and retail sales, starting this week on August 10th. And what is the significance of this? The significance of this is your benefits are going through the roof. How much? Let's first go over the inflation first, but let's get a preview. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits approximately $5,000 automatic for you, and we're waiting for that data. Now let's go over what happened July 13th. On July 13th, the May CPI jumped to a 9.1 read in the month of June. And this is huge because this is the highest CPI read we've seen in 20 years. It's huge because it raises your benefits up a lot. So let's now jump back into your benefits lifts. What we have understood since that CPI was released is that we need to see that inflation stays where it was for the month of June in the new July number coming this week or goes higher. And ultimately, if it does, your benefits are going up a lot. All right, let me explain to you what's going on. Your benefits are tied to something called COLA, cost of living adjustment. And that number is determined by another number. It's determined by the CPI-W. Yes, a subsection of the CPI, but only for 3 months. For the month of July, the month of August, and the month of September. Released, obviously August 10th for July, and then thereafter, they're always 1 month delayed. If inflation stays where it was for the month of June or higher, your benefits are going up astronomically. Now, automatic, yes. Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail, however you receive your benefits. How much? About $5,000. Some of you more, some of you less. That's per year. Third, do you have to do anything? No. Fourth, which 3 months? Those 3 months, but do we need to wait all 3 months? Great question from another viewer in the live chat. I think it was either Gail or Diane. It's a great question. If this inflation for the month of July, released this August, is about where June was, or through the Richter scale straight up, we don't have to wait out 3 months. If it's lower, we may really have to wait out 3 months. And if it's, if it's slightly lower, just a little bit, don't be worried whatsoever. But if it's big, if it's like a 6.5 or 6.6, yeah, we may not have to wait out 3 months across the board. And this, my friends, is why you want to stay here. Because guess what's happening later in this recording, and potentially in less than 10 seconds, is that we're going to have a Federal Reserve governor who spoke Saturday, who said inflation's going to keep on going up into 2023. Well, hold up right there. If inflation's going up into 2023, your benefits will go up in the month of July and August. Your inflation that's tied to your benefits will go up in the month of July, August, and September. This is a very important, powerful quote by the Fed governor. We're going to go to her comments in just a second. It's Bowman. All right, let's go then to the 75 basis point increase for the Federal Reserve. Very critical across the board. What do you need to know? What you need to know is Wall Street analysts are a bunch of, Wall Street analysts back on Thursday, 70% of them said that kid in Santa Monica is just crazy. He's just out left field. They said the Federal Reserve is doing one more interest rate spike in the month of September. It's going to be 50 basis points, and that will be it because inflation's peaked. Notice how much is in their sentence. Inflation's peaked, one more interest rate spike, and it's September, and I'm crazy. What happened as of Friday when this hideously low unemployment number last seen in 1969 was released? They said, oh, he's actually sort of smart, that kid. He's actually sort of smart. The Federal Reserve will do 75 basis points. So they went from 30% of them thinking 75 basis points to now 100%. And then believing that there will be consecutive inflationary spikes. But they're not really buying into what I'm saying completely yet. I'm saying there's going to be a lot of interest rate spikes. And why do I know that? I'll tell you why. Before I made those comments, we had Daley, the Fed governor from San Francisco, and we had Boulard, the St. Louis governor, saying, who said inflation's peaked? Is that the same person who told you that lobster shorts are couture? Who told you we're done with interest rate spikes? Is that the same person who told you to go get San Francisco hairstyles? Again, who's these people that are telling you these crazy things? And I just sort of wanted to say, was he watching me? Because that's what I said. I said, who are these crazy people who keep on saying crazy things? Inflation's not peaked. We didn't tell you it peaked. We have a lot of interest rate spikes to do. And who told you to go celebrate? Yeah, so that is, he didn't name any names, but I think he knows, I think we know who he's referring to. There we go. Which causes then the following. The hideous shocker of all of this is Camp 1 and Camp 2. In the second half of this video, we're going to go over what has happened with Camp 1 and Camp 2. Half of Wall Street believes there will no longer be a recession. In fact, there is not a recession. They think it's just an academic recession that posted its numbers through the month of June, and there's no recession now. There's no recession in the future. Camp 1, who are they? Why are they saying this? It's coming up in just a second. Then we'll go jumping over to Camp 2. Who is Camp 2? Preview, I'm part of Camp 2. And why are they saying there will be a recession? There is a recession, and now we know the recession is actually going to be worse. If you are Camp 1, post in the live chat, you're Camp 1. No hate, no blame, no love, no rule. We don't patronize based upon Camp 1 or Camp 2, whichever camp you are. And if you want to have a joke to this, I'm sure you will. You're Camp Bacon and you're excluding me from that. I know you're going to say something crazy like that. Are you Camp 1 or are you Camp 2? Get ready, because I'll analyze the latest of that in the big second half. But let's jump into why you have to get these forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. You gotta get these forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state, because if half of the analysts saying there's no recession, and half of them saying it's going to be a very serious recession, what are you talking about? You have to err on caution I don't care if you're Camp 1, I don't care if you're Camp 2. You err on caution always with your money. And you want to get these big sums of money. Let's go over this stimulus right now, these 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state, because you have to be cautious. These 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state became law in the month of March. Viewers have been getting them ever since, and you deserve to get them as well. Let's look at them and a preview of how they work starting right now. Past the month of March, they are huge sums of money. By executive action from Joseph Biden, they are huge. About $100,000, you qualify. Single individual, $75,000 or less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, go get it. How do you get it? You become a member. Go right in this video and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. We'll go over each of those checks one at a time, answer your questions, show you some success stories, and show you the importance of giving these checks right now. Go under this video and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Join this channel and get these big checks. What's at issue? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to survive you through this recession. If you believe there is a recession, and if you don't believe there's a recession, then it's just good money for a rainy day. 4 stimulus check, about $100,000. Federal stimulus, that's why it's in every U.S. state. There will be no other 4 stimulus. This is it. Go under this video, become a member, get these huge checks in the big second half. One of the benefits of becoming a member is also not just the newsletter, but what's also elsewhere in the newsletter. We have the price of corn, the price of wheat, the price of Brent crude, which has been a big topic coming up later in this recording, and this, the worksheets. The LALATE worksheets are in the membership newsletter. It's a PDF. A PDF is a series of pages. Go down around the 4th line of the newsletter, and you can print it out from your phone or your computer, or download it to your phone and open it up on another piece of paper, and take notes on another piece of paper. What do we know about the PDFs today, and what are the big success stories that came in during my absence? So here we go. First line, inflation. Has inflation peaked? There's no data that shows it has it peaked. The PCE released 2 Fridays ago shows it straight up. But to make sure, we'll have that CPI print released this August 10th. Then we'll have the PPI released the day after, the retail sales released after. If inflation's not peaked, your benefits are going up. Here's a preview. In the second half of this recording, we have Fed Governor Bowman, who says inflation's not peaked, and it may not peak to 2023. So this is a giveaway. It's like a cheat sheet. I mean, the Fed governors are telling you what's going on, so why would you not listen to them? They know what's going on. Recession. Okay, here we go. Camp 1, Camp 2. We'll go over this in the second half of this recording. Both camps agree that academically, at least, we are in a recession because a recession is defined as 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth of the economy. The economy is shrinking. The growth is defined by the gross national product, the GDP. It was released a week ago, and yet Camp 1 says it's just academic, and Camp 2 says no, it really is a recession. You can see negative quarters over and over again. We'll have more about that later. Labor. Okay, this Thursday we have the new jobless claims. Do you think it's going to be more than 260 or less than 260? This is jobless claims. This coming Thursday. Jump in the live chat and post what you think. What you think it's going to be. I think it's going to be up. It's going to be 260, about the same, or up is my opinion. And then the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, wow, here we go. On Thursday last week, I said they're going to do 75 basis points the next time they meet in September. Now, 100% of analysts now agree with me. The next page of the worksheets is this wonderful table. This is all unique to LALATE. This is why this is the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America. You don't get this assistance. You don't get this insight. You don't get this analysis or these free offerings for members anywhere else. It's a wonderful table. And this table created by me for you has a place for you to keep track of all your checks you applied for. Check A, check B, check C, the date you applied for, the payments you got, who you spoke to, because there's a lot of things you got to do. There's a lot of possible checks. Let me tell you the success stories that are brand new. First, last Tuesday, approximately one viewer got approved for 12 months of utilities. That's huge. That's not 10 cents. That's a lot of money. Congratulations to that viewer, that member. Number 2, the next day or 2 days later, one viewer got approved for 14 months of rent. Y'all got rent. 14 months of rent, most rent is about $1,000 at least. So that's about $14,000 because the person became a member. It pays to become a member. Then spelling the week before got approved for check A. We're going to go over that in a second. And check C's, few check C's. His message is great. He says, stay with it. It's an application process. They'll say you dotted your T and crossed your I. Just go back and then cross your T and dot your I, and you'll get it done. I love that message of positive spirit. Continue to inspire other people. Just post in the live chat your success story right now, whether it's $200 or $2,000. Post it because you encourage other people. Moreover, if you're underway in an application process, I applied for B, I applied for C, post in the live chat. It encourages people. It's a movement. It's a family here where we're trying to do it all together. It helps encourage people left and right. The big success story, of course, was that viewer from Florida. The viewer from Florida had applied with check B, put it on her worksheet, but forgot she put it on the worksheet. Yeah, just have to look. And what happened? She got that email from the state of Florida 2 Thursdays ago. Said, ma'am, you've been approved for check B. Well, congratulations. What did she get approved for? Her mortgage. Oh my goodness. How many months? 18 months. 18 months of her mortgage? Folks, that's not thousands of dollars. That's tens of thousands of dollars. But the story gets better than that. She got approved for her utilities as well. Her utilities. So if that's 4 utilities and a rent bill once per month, that's 5 checks per month for 18 months. 5 times 18. Folks, that's a lot of checks. That's 80 to 100 checks because she became a member. Congratulations to her, but congratulations to you because you're going to have that same success story. Become a member right now. Now let's go to the next page of the worksheet, which I've been talking about all day today. I told you I'd get to it. This stimulus. So we're really watching to see this CPI number on August 10th. If it's higher or about the same as June, the June number, which was released in July, so I'll make that clear to you, then we're in a really good state. We're going to go over the calculation of those percentages when we get that CPI print that day, because a lot of people will do the same percentage. I mean, some people are saying an 8% raise on just the June data. Some people are saying 9 or 10% based upon the June data. So we'll see what this July data is on Wednesday. Student loan debt forgiveness. The president said he would forgive $10,000 for student loan debt for individuals who became disabled for individuals who make $150,000 or less. He said that privately. He has not done it yet. I really don't have insight as to when he's going to do it. I don't know what the delay is now that he's coming out of COVID protocol, but I'm really not clear why the delay. He's already forgiven student loan debts for individuals who became disabled after graduation. People went to work in the nonprofit or public sector after graduation. People were defrauded by the university. If you believe that's you, go to the Department of Education's website. Go to the press release section and pull up the press releases and read where it says to go get those forgiven. Remember, the $10,000 has not been done yet. And finally, one of the most important stories at issue is the last page of that worksheet. And that last page of the worksheet is petroleum, is gasoline, is oil. Why is oil falling so dramatically? Let's just throw up the graphic. There it is right there. Recession. Recession. The oil traders have been saying for a very long time that they are trading down gasoline on the belief that we are in a recession. Because in a recession, people will consume less gasoline because they will lose their jobs, they'll stay at home. And that is why the price of gasoline has fallen so dramatically in such a short period of time. If you're a member to this channel, you're seeing in the newsletters, this price of gasoline no less than about a week ago, or about 10 days ago, was $110 a barrel international Brent crude. Last night it was 98 in the membership newsletter. I delivered a special one on Sunday because I was hospitalized. I felt guilty I hadn't gotten the newsletter for a few days. Then it went from 98 last night in the membership newsletter to 94 most of today. Folks, 94 is hideously low. I don't think I've ever covered a 94 number on this channel. I mean, it's below Putin's invasion of Ukraine. I mean, this is just insanely low. That is because the oil traders are in camp 2. They believe that there is going to be a very, very serious recession. And if there's a serious recession, you believe that gasoline goes down dramatically. Wow, there's a lot coming up in the big second half. We're going to go over recession camp 1 versus camp 2. It's a big second half. You don't want to miss it. Then we'll be turning, of course, those incredible 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Become a member. Go on this video and join this channel right now. And also in the big second half, we have some big, exciting, great news coming to you and this family. I'm so excited for you. Thank you for joining this channel if you joined in the last few days. And if you haven't do it right now, I'll see you back in 60 seconds. as the big details on a beautiful afternoon for August 8th continue for the shores of Santa Monica, California. We're just getting started, but first, here's a little bit about the community page. See you back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now for August 8th, 2022. From the shores of Santa Monica, California. Hope you're having a beautiful day. It's a big week with Thursday with that print for those unemployment numbers, and then August 10th with the massive CPI number we're all waiting for. It impacts your benefits. Has inflation peaked or has it not peaked? And along the way, of course, we'll have some housing down to watch. But for now, we're going to go over those big forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Did you become a member? Make sure you become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Now in this big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible checks starting right now. Back in the month of March, my viewers understood how politics works. In 2020, we were told there was going to be a second stimulus package between Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi. In fact, there never was a second stimulus package, although we referred to it a lot. It never existed. And then third stimulus was supposed to be robust and was not particularly as robust for some people, but the viewership of this channel cleaned up a lot. And today, what we know is that the checks that I got, the viewership of this channel, are there. They're still there, and they will be there for a while. That's why you want to become a member. Back in the month of March, viewers said, hey, I need money. Can you give me some money? I found them, the checks. They're done by executive action, and I had two focuses for you because I have big concerns for you with a potential recession coming. I was the first to say we were going to have a recession February of this year. No one would dare say the word R at the time. I want to have big checks so you have a lot of money to sustain a long, prolonged recession. And number two, broad eligibility. So you get them, so you qualify. And to deliver in a simple, easy way, a membership newsletter delivered to you. So you go down, hit the button, apply, go down and hit the button, apply. Very simple. And it's been big success stories for the members of this channel. Let's go over all these incredible checks starting right now. But first, the eligibility. You qualify. Generally single individual, $75,000 less, go get them. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get them. If you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, go get them. If you rent, if you own, if you have children, if you don't have children, every U.S. state, go get them. Let's go over all those checks, starting with the very first check. I give it a lettering system. The first check is Check A. It is a wonderful $6,500 to $12,000 for stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. And if you're on benefits, go get it. How do you get this wonderful check? You know the routine. Step one, go under this video and become a member. Join the channel. Go down to Check A. There it is in the top part of the newsletter. Where it says Check A, click the link. It sends you into the nationwide website. Then choose your state. Then choose the Weatherizing Grant. That is the one that Speller got. And go get it. You're not done there yet. You can go to Check B. This is the check that paid that viewer from Florida 80 to 100 checks. Go get it. Go into the membership newsletter. Go down to you find Check B and click the link. First, join the channel. Go into this video and join the channel. Become a member. Welcome to all the new members. During my absence because of hospitalization, the one live feed that ran brought in nearly 100 new members because the value of the content is here. The value of the membership is here. It also had a lot of returning members, and it also had a lot of upgrading members. Members who upgraded from Purple Hawk to Purple Power. Welcome to all the wonderful new members, and give me a link, give me a tag, and I'll give you a shout out if I'm in one of the live chats as well. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Go down to the membership newsletter till you find Check B. There it is. Click the link and go in and apply. And you're ready to rock and roll. Look how well you've done. Shack B, 80,000. Shack A, 12,000. That is $100,000 right there, but you're not done there at all. You're going to go get Check C. It's for rent, utilities, mortgage, assistance, more. This is what that one viewer got: 14 checks for rent. Another viewer, 12 checks for utilities. Incredible sums of money. How do you get Check C? You know the routine. Subscribe, go under this video, become a member, and get that incredible membership newsletter Monday through Friday, and get rent, utilities, mortgage, assistance, more. When you're doing Check C's, you want to get money and continue to get money. You want to be a member and continue to be a member. Let's look at these viewers who did that. From Nisi all the way up to Elizabeth, $30,000 for rent. Do you want that? Go get Check C. Do you want these enormous numbers for utilities? And Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000. Go get Check C. Snap, the same brother-in-law, is getting $250,000. Combinations of checks. You want to get them. Nisi is always getting additional checks. She's gone from $23,000 to $50,000. Mark's gone from this number, 32, to $166,000 from this channel. And then Lorraine went from 105 to 150. This is what this channel has taught viewers. This is what this channel is teaching you. You have complete ability to do this. Go do it right now. What is the common equation among all those success stories? Margaret, Lorraine, Johnny, Nisi, Johnny. It's the same thing. One, they're in all the live chats. You gotta watch the videos. You gotta know what's going on with this economy. It is a very, very complicated economy. And if you read one analyst's report, you're likely reading a wrong report. You got to actually read a few analyst reports and then realize, wait a second, half of you are right or half of you are wrong. You got to see all the data, and the data is changing very dramatically every day. You see what we're seeing for data coming in this week, and we don't even know what the data was going to be. We can say, well, the PCE last 2 weeks ago showed inflation was still going up. I assume the CPI on August 10th is going to go straight up. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to assume the CPI is through the roof. I just can't. I have to wait for the data. That's pure analysis, as one person said. Analysis is opinion. I think it was Diane on the morning show. It's a great line. Analysis is really opinion. No, opinion's often wrong, so you don't want to do this as economy. What do you need to do? Step one, go on this video, subscribe. Number two, like the video. And number three, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casting VIP. Also go to the Finance channel, hit that bell so you make sure all notifications are set to all on. Let's go now into those Camp 1 and Camp 2 and the big details that came in from Bowman. Her comments. Folks, you got to listen to the bond traders and you got to listen to the Federal Reserve governors. We may think what they're trying to do is nonsense, but when they give you their impressions of what they need to do, it's always what they do. They call it Fed speak. They're basically saying, I have a problem with this inflation. I have a problem with this, with the economy. I got to fix these things. And when they say that, they fix the things. So what did Bauman say on Saturday? Bauman said on Saturday that inflation is not peaked, that we have to continue to raise rates until inflation has settled down for a long time. So she's not saying that I'm going to get inflation down for 1 month. I got to get inflation down and keep it down for a long time before I stop spiking with rates. And finally, when asked how much of a spike, basically where we are right now. Here's a quote during a Colorado Kansas Bankers Association bruncheon. My view is that similar size increases, interest rate increases, compared to what they did in the month of July, should be on the table until we see inflation declining in a consistent, meaningful, and lasting way. That's a lot in that sense. I never noticed it until just right now, even though I've ran this quote for now 2 days, in a consistent, meaningful, and lasting way. So, for example, let's say the CPI number on August 10th is slightly down. You know exactly what's going to happen. Some analysts are going to say, hey, they're down for interest rate spikes. No, here's Bowman. She says it needs to be down a lot. Inflation needs to be down a lot and down a lot for a long time. So don't start celebrating on us until we get that. And you know exactly they're going to start celebrating if they think that CPI is down. Then here's what she said. If we don't do this, we're going to have a significant risk of high inflation into next year for necessities, including food, housing, fuel, and vehicles. Wow. That is what you wanted to hear for your benefits, SSI and SSDI Social Security. We were worried that inflation may have peaked, and we got it wrong, although no data shows inflation has peaked, and that your benefits are not going to go up as much as we had hoped for. And we know we're having to watch that July, August, and September number to determine how much your benefits are going to go up. But she says, folks, it's looking like this inflation is going to be here into 2023. Oh my goodness. Now, obviously, something I haven't said very clearly, so I want to say it right now. If it's that bad, the situation, if inflation is still going up and up into 2023, this is not SS 300 or SS 400. I mean, this is SS 500 or 550. This is a bigger lift to your benefits than we could have ever imagined. That's why you got to see these numbers when they come in. And here is what she says. The larger threat to the stronger labor market is excessive inflation, which if allowed to continue, will cause further economic softening. It means the economy is going to fall apart, risking a prolonged period of economic weakness. Basically, the economy's falling apart. Coupled with higher inflation like we experienced in the 1970s. So she says, if you don't get this inflation down and keep it down for a long time, you're going to see a very bad time like the 1970s, which of course was a period of recession. So that brings us to Camp 2 and Camp 3. As we go, what did I just say? Camp 2 and Camp 3. Camp 1 and Camp 2. There's no Camp 3. If you take Bowman's comments alone, she says, 1, there's inflation right now. 2, it is not peaked. 3, I need to have the same interest rate spike I had last month, 75 basis point. 4, I need inflation down, dramatically down, and staying down for a few months before I stop raising these interest rate spikes. If I don't do that, you go into a very serious recession. Okay, so let me go now into the analysis of the two camps. Camp 1 says, inflation has peaked. Untrue. And Camp 1 is generally stock traders. Go buy some stocks. Stocks are way up today. Ironically, and I told you this recording is made a little bit later than it usually is, the stocks were up a lot earlier today, and they ended down for the day. So the stock traders keep on really wanting to draw you in to buy some stocks. They're really cheap. Come on, buy some stocks. Same with crypto. Crypto is now hovering, like Bitcoin came up above 23,000. This is a very encouraging resistance level. No, it's 23,000. Come off already. It's like they keep on doing the same thing, this camp. Bitcoin's suffering about 23,000. It used to be 35,000. It's 45,000. It was 64,000. Why is 23,000 suddenly a good number? They do this with their earnings also, and it drives me crazy. Let me tell you what they do with the earnings. The corporations say, we would normally report a $10 quarter, but inflation's been bad, so we're giving you guidance it's going to be a $4 quarter. And then when they report their earnings, it comes at a $5 quarter. They say it was a major beat. 75% of S&P companies were a major beat in this last 2 weeks. Yeah, major beat of the downward guided number after the number was guided downward, not the original numbers that they would have had if there was not a problem with this economy. It's like people know this is not the correct story, and they're trying to run an incorrect story. All right, let's jump over to Camp 2. Camp 2, the bond traders. The bond traders, the oil traders, myself, and basically what the Fed governors are warning you. The bond traders are historically nearly 100% correct. The stock traders are historically usually very wrong. And the oil traders are usually right as well. Camp 2 is bond traders, Camp 2 is oil traders, and Camp 2 is me. In some regards, it's the Federal Reserve governors. They say the following. And I got to tell you, every time I say this, I say to myself, it's analysis, but it almost sounds like data. First, in a recession, historically, now again, this is data. I mean, it's really not analysis. In a recession, historically, labor does not fall apart at the beginning of a recession. Labor falls apart at the end of a recession. This is historical data that somehow Camp 1 keeps on ignoring. The labor market's really strong. That's why there's not a recession. That's not how recessions work. Look up the history of recessions in this economy. I know the last major one you may not have been alive for as an analyst, but look them up. Labor does not fall apart at the start of a recession. It falls apart towards the end of the recession. So that's not a good argument for Camp 1. Number 2, that the heightened that the lowest unemployment we've seen since 1969 gives the Federal Reserve complete cachet now to hit with those interest rate spikes over and over again. I don't know how Camp One can say the Federal Reserve is almost done. I just don't get it. The Federal Reserve's question at every press briefing over the last few months was, but if you keep on if you keep on hiking interest rates, aren't you going to hurt the labor market? Aren't you going to hurt the labor market? Now they can just sit back and smile and say, I told you we weren't going to hurt the labor market. We can keep on raising interest rates. We're not going to hurt the labor market. We can keep on doing and keep on doing and keep on raising those rates. We're not going to hurt the labor market. And they're right. They're right. They got it right. Who are they going to hurt? The economy. They're going to hurt the economy because businesses will not be able to afford these massive, through-the-roof interest rates. They won't be able to afford these interest rates. And they'll send you into recession. So what do the bond traders do? The bond traders trade bonds. One person, two couple people live chat on Evenings LA last night said, is he saying bond or is he saying something else? One person says saying boring. My accent's not that crazy. Bond, B-O-N-D. My name is Bond. Bond trader. I just don't know how to get my accent clear enough to you. Bond. What is he saying? Jump in the live chat. Is he saying bond or B-O-N-D? The bond traders. Don't wave at the wave chat because he won't understand what I'm saying either. The bond traders are trading the bonds based upon what they think is going to go on with this economy. And what are they doing? The yield inversion curve. This is the single most important indicator of where we are. The yield inversion curve happens when there's a recession. You don't even need to know what the yield curve inversion is. You just have to know it happens when there's a recession. And the people who are causing it, the bond traders. And what have they done since Friday? They've made the yield curve inversion worse. They've taken the inversion of the curve and made it worse because they believe that there will not only be a recession, but a far more pronounced and more serious recession than we had thought before the Friday number came in. And you want the quotes? Here we go. So the quotes are coming in from the bond traders, and they are individuals like Ian Lengen, head of U.S. strategy at BMO. The last time we were this inverted with the yield inversion curve, you have to look back to 2000. It was a much overall different environment. But it's the next part of the sentence I want to read. The biggest takeaway from the depth of the inversion of the curve is that the market is confident, the bond market is confident that the Fed credibility is high. Absolutely. The Fed did not touch unemployment. They hit it with inflation, and they did not hurt unemployment. They will continue to hike rates. I think you would agree with that. The risk is that if it creates a bigger economic headwind that the economy can handle and will end up tipping into a more significant recession. So they're basically saying that the Federal Reserve believes that they can continue to raise interest rates because the labor market has now improved dramatically, not gotten worse. They're right. And that the Federal Reserve that keeps on raising interest rates will throw you into a very long, prolonged recessionary environment. Really, really, really differing opinions. Camp 1 versus Camp 2. If you're in Camp 1, post in the live chat. If you're in Camp 2, post in the live chat. I have a feeling there's going to be no one in the live chat that's from Camp 1. I just think it's sort of obvious. I think this analysis is very obvious. Finally, some excitement, some really big excitement for you. You deserve it. This channel is expanding dramatically. I've been teasing it for a while, and I know it's hospitalized, so things got backlogged. But during my hospitalization, I got the message that I really wanted. LALATE 2 and LA 3 are a go. So LA 2 and LA 3, the two new channels coming to this family, are a go. Some of the programming has been filmed. Some of it hasn't been edited out, edited and formatted yet, and some of it is just ready to go live. On LALATE 2, you will have Stimulus as a live show 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Then on LA 2, you'll have your favorite humor shows back and new series featuring all your lovable characters. Sirloin, Javita Light, Blaine 66, all back in the original form and with new series and with some of the shows you remembered as well. Over on LA 3, you'll have the economy, your money, your finances, everything you need to know about recession, inflation, housing. People have been asking for LA 3 to bring back crypto. I will bring back crypto. And on LA 3, the cooking shows you've asked for. A lot of them were filmed actually before the heat heated up. Thank goodness. It's a little bit hard to film them. Some of them on location. Some of them are, actually a lot of them are on location. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Make sure you go into this video, subscribe to channel LA 2, and channel LALATE 3. The way you'll get notification of videos there is as a subscriber. The message will go out to subscribers across the board from that community page across the board. On this channel, LA1, you've seen the changes already. The live show is now 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. LALATE.com, the news website online that started all nearly 20 years ago, been in business for over 20 years, has been rebranded, have the latest details on your economy. And this channel itself will get a soft refreshing as well in the upcoming days across the board. A lot of excitement. I'm so excited you're here. Thank you for your kind messages during my absence. I really appreciate it. Coming up tonight is Evenings LA at 5 o'clock. It's a brand new show. Don't miss it. It's being taped a little bit later in the day, so we'll see what other breaking news came in from Wall Street after the taping of the show. For the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Stay informed, stay focused, become a member. So much confusing in an economy in which a lot of people believe that a recession will be pronounced and far worse than initially thought, where other people believe that the economy does not even have a recession. Those phases of the economy are exactly what we talked about. Remember those stages? And I say the financial cliff is coming September. How close is September? Just around the corner. September involves just days after the Consumer Price Index was released and the Federal Reserve giving another interest rate spike. Folks, now's the time to become a member. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.